Hey guys, welcome to the RT podcast. I'm Ralph.
I'm Trent. We're here to talk shit about movie news, pop culture, all that kind of shit, and we're not cunts, so that's why you should listen, I guess. If you give a shit. I don't give a shit. There's 11 views. Fuck off, then.
Only sometimes.
But, yeah, only sometimes. But, we tend to go down long, rambly rants that have nothing to do with the original issues, but hopefully it's mildly entertaining, and you don't end up jerking off with tear slubes. But, just as a forewarning, I apologize to Ralph for all the times I cut him off. All right, let's start.
You know what? In your defense, you have a lot of good things to say, so I get it.
I appreciate that. Thank you for the blowjob, Ralph. And I'm cutting you off already. See, but and that's just because I'm impatient and I want to get as I'm a cramp. I talk fast because I'm a neurotic fuck and I want to fit all.
That's who you are.
Because it's both sides. Exactly. I'm a cunt, is who I am. But we're cunts who say non-cunt. We say cunty things, but because we say we're cunts, we're not cunts. That's the trick.
Everyone in this world is a cunt.
Is a cunt. Oh yeah, New Zealand.
They're just better at pretending, okay?
Here's how I put it. This is a joke I used to do. I said, everyone has a little bit of cunt in them. Girls just get an extra helping.
It's like when God was creating the females, like he added a little bit
exactly.
of cunt,
they just got an extra.
But then the bag spilled, and then all of it went on.
Exactly, they got an extra dose. Just like he left black people in the oven too long. Like there's all the. I mean, and then white guys are just sent. Although he made the penises a little tiny, so everybody got their fair life sucks for you, poo poor me shit.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was actually a pretty good intro. Didn't expect it to go that well because we actually tried to do an intro, but Ralph's fat fingers couldn't press record. But so this is we're doing a second dry run here. I might have to get drunk, make it a wet run.
I pressed record. It just said error, so
All right, sure.
Go kill yourself,
Mr. Fuck Up. Oh, go fuck myself. All right, sure.
Yeah.
But once I have the tier loop. But what's our first story?
Well, before we get started on our main topics.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, this is your thing. He wants to get a real reaction from me, so strap yourselves in. All right.
And we talked about this at your house, I think, at least a little bit. We talked about it.
Okay.
I think it was 4 or 5 days ago.
I'm trying to remember what this would be. Okay, when?
It was 4 or 5 days ago. I think it was.
Okay, so the night before I came back. Gotcha. Because we're back to unprofessional. Just heads up.
Exactly.
We're doing Skyping again. So that's why. It probably sounds better, honestly, because Ralph was fucking. His dad decided that was the 2 hours to set up the goddamn Christmas lights. But
exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, Ralph. Lay it on me, my
Perfect
man.
timing. But we talked about
Jesus,
this
turn that thing off.
Sorry, my phone.
It's okay. I'm kidding. Very unprofessional. Oh
yeah.
What am I on some podcast with under 30 viewers? Yes, you are.
Exactly.
It's okay. We're teenagers.
Gives it that genuine
we
feel.
Suck. But, yeah, we're giving you the indie. We're a part of the indie-street. But All right, bad jokes. Just go.
My question for you is: would a lot of very iconic franchises would they be the same without their iconic music, aka Star Wars, John Williams, Jurassic Park, basically every John Williams score, or not? It can be other artists, obviously.
See, that John Williams is the toughest thing because that's the question of would the world today be the same if not to be too over. This analogy works not in the true effect, even though I'm not trying to belittle what John Williams has done, but in I think it's analogous. What would the world be like if Mozart didn't exist? I know that's big, but it's it's very unquantifiable, and it's also hard where people like Mozart and John Williams, I know they're both pianists, I'm trying to think of something better. Hitler obviously was very good at what he did, even though it wasn't a good thing. So questionably.
Obviously.
But John Williams is very hard to separate from his movies, because, I mean, come to think of it, John Williams didn't do a score for a bad movie. I don't believe. Or at least, or I guess maybe just he got lucky where none of them were famous, but I mean, the 3 Indiana Jones movies, the Star Wars trilogy, E.T., all of Spielberg's greats, it's just, very hard to... And what was that movie that I was surprised I didn't even know was John Williams that we were watching the other day? Of course, Jurassic Park, but, what was
that's
the one
that
I
was
was
one.
Holy shit, that's John Williams? Remember, I was Harry Potter, that's who I didn't know.
He did
the original
he did
Harry Potter.
Game. Yeah.
Exactly, I think Harry Potter still would have been Harry Potter without it, so there's certain ones, right?
So...
But I'd say Star Wars, I feel just special effects, but I agree. I think bottom line, he added something where his music is so good and emotionally not even manipulative but powerful that
Exactly.
with that it's almost like a spaceship where could we have gotten to Mars without a certain scientist? Yes, but it happened faster and it happened better. Where like he's almost like some formula that optimizes rocket fuel just 1% better, but that has such a huge impact. Where like he exponentially increased the pleasure and the impact of every single movie he was a part of, which is a composer's job. Like so much of now, it's just like kind of filler music, or just you feel it's just jarring and fucking. You feel like you're getting jerked off by a drunk hobo in a bar. But he was amazing. But yeah, you go.
Yeah, I mean, I read somewhere that a lot of directors, when they're making their films, before the composers score the films, they kind of add placeholder music. For example,
Exactly.
Yeah, so like a lot of times you have older music in there, and then when the composer actually scores the films, the director just tells them to kind of make it the same as that was.
Exactly. Give us something like it's almost like getting like give us a copyright free version of that. Do a cover. Yeah. It's like give us a version where we don't have to pay them for their amazingness. I'm with you. And I don't know if you're upset about this. I mean, it was crazy to hear. I can't remember if it was Hans Zimmer for one of the latest movies, and he's done a lot. So he's done like Pirates of the Caribbean, which is a great. I mean, that main score, the man's amazing in his own right. But like, I remember I could have sworn there was a news story a little while ago where Hans Zimmer had like 2 weeks to score a film, or like Michael it might have been Michael Giacchino for the latest Rogue One. That's it.
Yeah.
And like that guy's, I mean, Up. I still go to sleep to the soundtrack to Up, like almost every night.
Yeah,
like no joke.
Three
Star different Trek, songs. Yeah.
Trek,
stuff we
Jurassic
did.
World.
Ellie. Yeah. Stuff we did. Ellie's Badge and Married Life. Married Life's the abortion montage one, or miscarriage. But spoiler alert on a fucking almost 10-year-old film. So go fuck yourself. But don't listen to this podcast if you don't want to. I don't know. I'm being a cunt. But yeah. I mean that's crazy. I mean that to me that's like disrespectful. If you really. I'd say that's almost like the writer thing, where back in the 1950s Hollywood, when all these writers were contracted to the studios, so they were a dime a dozen, and like people have always, and this is just my writer paranoia probably, but like people have always wanted to minimize the necessity of the writer, even though everything starts with the writer. If you do not have a good script, you have a shitty movie.
Everything else can be fantastic, but if the script is bad, forget about it.
Exactly. And there are great scripts that are ruined, no doubt. I mean, it's so hard to translate. Like, I've really, just from short films, come to appreciate how hard it is to I mean, that's something painful as a writer. It's so perfect in your mind. And it's always quite different in little ways that just kind of kill it's like seeing your daughter suck her first dick. Like, movie making it's a dirty business. Like, you're glad your daughter's married. It's like seeing your daughter married. You're glad she's married, and maybe it's a good guy. He makes good money. Gave her a big rock. Doesn't beat her too much. You know, cooks steak every once in a while. But you know he's fucking your daughter. In every hole she'll let him. Like that's the best analogy I can give for like how that feels as a writer. And I agree. Directors are always blown. Like it's interesting to actually read in the film. Basically these are writers that basically feel this way, but like it's interesting in America how the director is sort of deified. Like there's the auteur theory for directors, but very few directors write and direct. I think you're with me that a director has done way more if he also wrote his own script, right? Like that's a bigger accomplishment, right? So like I mean, total respect to who's the guy who directed The Incredible Hulk, this new Billy Lynn's Halftime Walk, and then I'm blanking on the boat, the tiger, Cheech and Chong. Don't eat, here's some hamburger patties. What is that?
The tiger?
I was doing a little bit of Bill Burr there, but he never gets the movie's name. Like his great one today on the podcast for Game of Thrones was what's the one? The castles, dragons don't eat me for Game of Thrones, but
okay.
We're in a but I'm talking about the boat, Life of Pi. There we go. So that guy,
Ang Lee.
Hao Ming or Ang Lee. Yeah. Thank you. I call you Hao Ming, but I combined him with communist China dictator Hao, and then Yao Ming. But
perfect combination.
Same thing. Hey, apparently he's a little intimidating, but
he is. Yeah.
But yeah, he got in a fight, right? He got in a fight over Billy Lynn's long halftime walk over budget and 48 frames per second. Yeah. Talk about that later. But directors want to be blown for it, and it's like really movie making is a collaborative thing. It's nobody. If anything, most of the credit should go to writer number one. I do believe that. But then there's total big moments where the actor deserves a huge nod. And so many times, the writer is saved by the soundtrack. I mean, there are cheesy fucking scenes in Star Wars, no goddamn question, especially in the 7th one. And you know, John Williams, you know, it's like it's even more than a band-aid, it's like makeup. But there are some amazing. I mean, look at all these fucking cunts that are on YouTube with their makeup channels. But yeah,
exactly, and that's why I think there's obviously a finite amount of composers who, if you replace their music, it would be different. I think you can add obviously Williams, Zimmer, Giacchino. Obviously, there's a lot more, but
those are the ones we know.
They're the best. And
Rob Simonson, I'd put in because it's Spectacular Now. Because that was.
But I want to kind of alter the question for you.
Yeah.
So, say you have Star Wars John Williams situation.
Yeah.
If you take John Williams' music out and then you replace it with some average composer, do you think it's different? Because that kind
of. I think it's unquestionably different. It's like that's like saying with all the weird things. Like, remember how, I don't know if you ever read this, Will Smith had the chance to play Neo in The Matrix.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like, so it's like we're the kind of guys who the second we watch a movie, and probably anybody who gives a shit about this kind of nerdy ass podcast are the kind of people that the second you watch a movie, you go and take that dump you've been holding in the whole time while your ass cheeks sweat because you love fucking cinema, and you go on IMDb and you look at all the fucking trivia, even the stupid ones like, this is the third film that so-and-so and so-and-so have been in, and they were in this, and you're just like, skip. But then every once in a while there's that fucking pearl, and you get to wonder these alternate timelines. What, I mean, imagine Will Smith played Neo in The Matrix. That would essentially, that's almost like Barack Obama as the first like black president. That would have been like the first black action hero, right? Like, I mean, and being the first time the black guy's the chosen one, honestly. But granted, I'm glad it's Keanu because that guy's hilarious as fuck. I love his stone face, the chalkboard. Like, there's a great cracked video about why people like Keanu Reeves, because he doesn't act at all, and it's like a video game character, how you never see their face, you project onto them. That's like the great theory on the internet, which I think is hilarious. But so I mean, I think anything you change, it's like, I'm such a purist with that, like, it's the writer cuntiness, where like, if one fucking word is changed, I feel like, you know, everything that gives meaning or impact. So like, music is huge, like Spectacular Now, that soundtrack is fucking beautiful, and that soundtrack, it's like when we learned, I don't know if you took, okay, so last year, senior year, we took American Government, didn't pay attention at all, stupid teacher, gave his kids retardation, his wife cancer with his cursed penis, but he and his wife was probably glad to just finally get away from him how she could. But we learned for federalism there were two types. There was marble cake and layer cake. So layer cake is the two separate types, and then marble cake, it's all baked in. Movies are all marble cakes. And so, like, I would, especially the great ones. So, like, Star Wars, Spectacular Now, Whiplash. I mean, talk about that soundtrack. Granted, I was probably using old famous jazz songs, but, like, that soundtrack is baked into the core. It's like a bunch of strings in the braid of a rope. Like, I think it undeniably changes it.
Yeah.
I will say, I think your original question was like, how important is it? I will say, I'm saying all this and I'm blowing them a lot. And I know you're enjoying that because you fucking jerk off to the Jurassic Park soundtrack. But like, I think Jurassic Park would, you know, maybe in just the easiest quantifiable way. So like, the hardest one is how much would it have impacted people? Would you love Jurassic Park as much? I don't know. But like, I doubt anybody could have made a better soundtrack, but like, I bet Jurassic Park still would have made $800 million or whatever it did.
Really?
It just would be, I would say, I took off $100 million for John Williams. That's me being nice. So like, there's, you know, 2 million people less saying, go watch that movie because the soundtrack didn't put the Band-Aid over the makeup over the bad moments. But like, especially with special effects type things, he did a lot of special effects one. Spectacular Now, I wonder. Even though that story is so great, I still say yes. But that's hard for me, where I love movies for a lot of reasons. And I'd say I'm even one of the cunts that tends to minimize it. But especially composers, because like, bottom line, if we're honest, a lot of them are forgettable. Like, there are very few John Williams, Michael Giacchinos.
Exactly.
And those guys, and Hans Zimmer and Rob Simonson and others. Like, it's kind of like cinematographers. We'll see a great shot, but how many great shots are there in a movie? Usually there's a handful. Just like a soundtrack. Usually there's one or two. I mean, even with the Up soundtrack, it's one main melody, but like, I only downloaded 3 songs from that soundtrack. Those are the 3 best ones. Like, I mean, they're profound. It was one of the best soundtracks ever, but still, like, I tend to prefer, honestly, myself, movies that have a lot of, like, bringing old hipster indie songs that people forgot about, like the Wes Anderson, how he used to style, rather than the old composers style. Like when he would have a song by some band that was big in Russia for a decade that nobody in America heard, and he brings them in, and you're just like, that's fucking amazing. Like, I'm big on that too. So like, and I feel like that soundtrack's even more important, especially when there's lyrics. But I bounce back and forth. But how about you? Like, I mean, we know you're gonna be on the big side of this, but yeah.
So if you take something out of a film, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Like you interpret what you see differently. Like you just can't.
Very logical, definitely.
And obviously, I still think lots of films would be highly respected and very watchable, but it's just...
And maybe make just as much money, but what they had... The main thing is the emotional impact. That's what a score is for. A lot of scores are just to pass the time along.
Exactly.
Filler. But I'm with you that, like, it's the atomizer. It's, like, not the catalyst, it's the aroma on like, the person. It's what makes it human, sort. It's like...
Yeah, like, film music can be in a way kind of its own character. Like it
totally
exactly
totally.
It can add such a gravitas to the film, and
I'm with you.
I just don't think the problem with scores is that they're very replaceable these days, because of what I said.
Definitely.
When directors just kind of want the same thing.
I'm with you. And giving 2 weeks,
and that ruins film scores. So
definitely,
I definitely think you have to kind of highly respect iconic scores, because they're just
they're
not very common these days.
Yeah, in fact, I would say, because you just said that, I'd say composers are still stuck in the rut, except for maybe John Williams, are still stuck in the rut of what writers were in the 1950s, like very unionized Hollywood, where you were under, almost like baseball players back then, where you were stuck with that team forever, where composers, it's like, fuck you, 2 weeks, here's $1 million, and like, yeah, I'm sure they're being paid great, but like, it is an art, and Hollywood... It always, all systems, they boil it down to a number, they boil it down to the product, they boil it down to the fucking amount of money you can get them, how much are you costing me, and it's like, it's bullshit that Hans Zimmer or Michael Giacchino had 2 minutes to do a Star Wars soundtrack. That's fucking bullshit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And going back to John Williams, he's scoring Episode 8 Star Wars, which comes out next December, and
awesome.
And he just started the score like a couple weeks ago, which obviously he's very old, so he wants to kind of get it done just in case,
just in case he forgets some with Alzheimer's, like, oh, where'd that paper and notes go?
Or he dies. But,
rewrite. Yeah, exactly, kicks the bucket.
But, like, not many composers would get that kind of respect to get this, to get to see kind of the film. It
takes me John Williams.
Get to start their job.
Here's what it is. Composers are the black people of Hollywood. They're the historically disenfranchised. Sorry, keep going.
No, that's a good point. But
they're the Kanye West. You want to throw me into a black jail because I'm a black man with the confidence of a white man? Hallelujah! Great song, Jukebox Joints. I've recommended it on different podcasts. Keep going.
But I want to hear that now, actually. But
bro, we should end it with that. Fuck the copyright claim.
But James Gunn, who's done Super and Guardians.
I really want to hear this. Yeah.
He's one of the few directors who doesn't add kind of a replacement music when he's editing the film, because he wants to kind of come up with his own emotional manipulative songs and scores.
Yeah, totally.
And I love that.
But for Guardians of the Galaxy and 1 and 2 and even Super, because I really love that movie. You didn't love it as much, and I think it gets better as he's watching, I will say.
Okay.
But he does a lot of songs. Like he licensed songs. He does Tarantino sort of style. He kind of uses it's almost like those kind of movies I would compare to rap, where it's almost like sampling. There's songs that already exist, and you're stapling them to your movie. And so it's better to write a movie that really belongs in a song. That, like, the difference is he's writing a scene to a song, or that's how you should. That's how Quentin Tarantino wrote the super famous "Stuck in the Middle with You" torture scene for Reservoir Dogs. He wrote it while listening to a song. He said, like, he writes the scene towards the song, which is what you should do. Like, think about music. The best soundtracks tend to be songs written towards the scene, right? They're looking at the scene, then they go, how about this? And the director goes, and you're getting that. So you should write the scene towards the song instead of a lot of lazy-ass directors that try to copy others and then just kind of go, this fits, smack it on the package, Yeah,
and James Gunn, when he was directing Guardians, he knew what songs beforehand that he was going to have in the film.
Exactly.
And in the opening scene of Guardians, when you see Chris Pratt walking through that whatever it was,
kicking the lizards, the cave.
That song was playing in his headphones actually, and so he had that. He physically knew what was happening.
That's great.
So it made it more real, and that's
and so much music was post production. Like, imagine if it's almost like the writer the composer should be if you're not doing songs like the Tarantino, James Gunn style, and the style that I honestly do, where I literally have a note on my phone that's called songs to put in films, and I have whether it should be a montage song, an ending song, an opening song, this scene song, like that, then it should be the composer should almost be writing his music off the screenplay, and then they have it. And then they can film towards that to give it its most power.
They get paid so much. It's not that much to ask just to kind of plan it in advance and kind of
to show mutual respect for each of their arts.
Just kind of wing it. Like you have so much time and you're investing a lot of money. So I don't see why it's so hard to do that. Like,
but I would say there's something in the American sort of bullshit imaginary dream of we really like to glorify those It's why. I mean, I fucking hate it as a writer, even though I'm a part of the problem. But we always love, like, oh, you ad-lib that line, where that's always famous, De Niro in the mirror, you talking to me? All that, we love those, because, like, we love that, that the talent just sprout, the planned, random, or Blade Runner ending scene, that was just a random gibberish, and he just put it on because it was so beautiful, like, that wasn't in the script. Like, they love those things, and I feel like people, we like the story of Michael Jordan, down by 12, with a minute and a half left, and he shoots 6 threes and wins it. Whatever, we like
that is
those
insane.
Stories.
That is insane.
Exactly. I'm just saying. I'm making up a story. I don't even know if that's legit, but I'm guessing it happened. I don't pay attention to sports.
Oh, I thought you were being serious.
Ralph, he was worried that I knew more sports than Ralph is like he was playing dumb. Like he's going, yeah, that was crazy.
That sounds so iconic. Like
it sounds possible, right?
I was like ashamed of myself that I didn't know that. Like, come on, that's fucking amazing. You
were getting your NBA 2K flashbacks when Moises slaps your ass around. That was a sad loss. I'll give you that. That was a rough one there. That was a Bill Burr joke. Props, but kind of like I actually just watched my first sports game in a while. Besides the stupid SEC championship, I don't give a shit about college football. I watched the Bruins versus Flyers, and they lost in the shootout.
I thought you watched the UF game today.
I did. I watched it today, but I just don't even want to talk about it. But not like I'm hurt. I give a shit.
Do you go to any of the games?
I went to my first game with the Chase Bay at the fraternity seats. Listen, they had some funny cheers. I vaped the whole time, got a lot of mean stares. I had to hide it from the old man. Punched my buddy on the arm. I think for having his foot on the bleachers in front of him. It was like I had to take a lot of seating breaks. I was pretty drunk, so it was a rough one. It was hot. It was moist.
It wasn't today, right?
All these mouth breathers, huh?
Was it today or no?
No, it was. I want to say it was their last home game. It was actually the last. It was the last chance I would have had for, this year. Okay. So it was the game. So they played LSU, FSU, and then Alabama. So it was the game they were playing. I can't even fucking remember. It wasn't. I mean, I don't give a shit about college football. Okay. But or most sports, I enjoy. I like it. I don't like a lot of people. That's my thing. It's just the neurotic, psychological Jew in me. Like I like being with my buddies and shit talking. When I'm with other people, I just go, fuck this. I don't know. I just assume everybody's a cunt and I just want to get out of there. But I just want to blow up a bomb. I just picture. I understand terrorists. Then I don't want to prove it, but I understand.
Interesting. Okay.
But I'm kidding. But what were we talking about? Yeah, soundtracks. But I don't even remember. But now I really like this. I think next week I want to prepare a question for you. This is a good thing that we should keep going.
That can be our weekly.
Just the wild card,
exactly, like addressing the council kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. Star Wars joke. Yeah. But you want to move on to the first topic?
Yeah, sounds good. It's kind of in line with what we were talking about.
Yeah. So
actually.
I was getting ready to watch ESPN tonight at 8:00 because I heard that the first Guardians 2 trailer was supposed to play on ESPN, but director James Gunn just put it on his Facebook page at like 5:30. So that ruined my night. So,
gotcha. Well, at least you're able to give me the link. I couldn't find it fucking anywhere.
Really?
On my phone, granted. On my phone. So.
I've been waiting for this trailer for a couple of weeks. I'm kind of pissed off that we got this trailer before the Spider-Man trailer, but whatever. It's a first world problem.
Oh fuck! Who gives a shit, Ralph?
But you know what? It was a fantastic trailer. I think.
Yeah. No more trailers, though. Stop. No more trailers, in my opinion. Well, last trailer.
Again,
if you don't want to see the movie from the past two, you're not going to want to see it from the others.
Again,
no more spoilers.
The good thing about Gunn is that he intentionally edits the trailers himself.
Yes.
So
he's good at that.
Doesn't want
I agree.
Give away any plot points or anything. He just
I agree.
wants to show the
You're
spirit
right.
of the film, and
He shows a couple jokes from it,
and
he's so funny that like there's other laughs. Like Guardians 1 did a great job with that. Like, and plus it was that same trailer over and over. I did get a little annoyed with it by the end with all that, because that was back when I still watched YouTube, and it was like every fucking 2 minutes, ooh ah. But I give him a pass. Amazing fucking movie, probably favorite Marvel movie. But and I love that he's so subversive to that system.
Yeah.
But
I want both of us to give our favorite moments from the trailer first, and then we can go into other positives and negatives. But what was your favorite moment?
I really gotta say, even though it's the cheesy, easy answer that every fucking dumb cunt on the internet's gonna say, vaginas. It's Baby Groot as a whole, but specifically that first like puppy looking at this piece of salami above his face look that he gave when he said, "Don't touch the button." He does this like that. Like he did like it was such a. It reminded me of my dog that looks like those toys. It's like blind, I think, maybe not, but it looks like those toys that you squeeze and its eyeballs shoot out like the two different directions. That's what Groot looked like. I mean, so cute. And then when he got angry, like an I am Groot. I mean, I didn't hear it great the first time. Hearing it the second time, I was dying. He was so fucking cute. It's the bottom line. Like, I love Groot. I was dying. And I love the Rocket Raccoon going, "That's not good." Like, it's like a Larry David. It's Larry David's version of the fucking Marvel Universe. I love it.
Yeah.
How about you?
It's hard to argue with Baby Groot because he's so damn adorable, and you already know that Disney's gonna sell a shit ton of toys.
Oh,
Baby
God.
Groot, Baby Groot, like Pops, action figures, stuff.
So many little girls are gonna lose their virginities jerking off the Baby Groot stick. I bet they could sell Groot carrots to eat. Kids would actually eat them. Like,
that's awesome.
Man, I should be in charge of Disney.
Yeah, but again, Baby Groot, like, and Vin Diesel is still doing the voice, so it's interesting.
Really, like, I was wondering. Yeah. That's hilarious.
I wonder if he's like actually doing it, or like you're like kind of like editing the way he says it. Like, kind of making it a lower pitch.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, but
higher.
There's so many great moments. I mean, obviously Baby Groot when he's talking to Rocket about the bomb, and at the end with Drax in general, like when he's like,
I love Drax.
When he's like cutting inside the monster, like just going.
I like that. I thought you were gonna talk about when he made fun of him for the feeling.
That
like,
too.
I was so glad. Honestly, Drax is the character I was the most worried about because I really didn't like him much in Skyfall. I was like, yep, this guy is a wrestler. Or not Skyfall.
Spectre.
Spectre, thank you. Still haven't seen Skyfall, but because I'm cunt. But I was worried, like, I like the man. I can tell he's a good person. Batista, right?
Yeah.
Dave Batista. But I was worried that they weren't gonna, because that's those kind of like, bottom line, he's the least important character. So like, that's the one as a writer that going back to it a year later, you're gonna be weak on, is what I was feeling. And so I was very happy that like he felt totally consistent for how he was written. I mean, metaphors couldn't go over my head. My reflexes are too fast. That was great. That was totally in line. I loved it. He was one of the highlights of the last trailer when he was making fun of Star-Lord for dance. Clearly, there's a lot of the good stuff of making fun of what's being a man in our culture, which is the shit that I love. I'm a guy, I have a penis. I love that shit. So I like seeing Chris Pratt go, "No, I'm tough." Like, that's great. Sexual attraction was great. Using dirty words. Like
you feel love, sexual love. Like that was that's so perfect.
Exactly.
And
I feel unselfish love for everybody.
Yeah, and I think James Gunn does a great job with Bautista in specifically because obviously he's not an actor originally. He's a WWE, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so he takes
that's correct
his strengths
with
his acting, and he displays those in both of these films so far. Totally, like
he's definitely a writer that works actors. I mean, he makes all those guys look like they should have a cabinet full of like Oscars and a garage full of fucking what are the Rolls Royces, like he makes them look like, and each one of those actors wasn't a star until Guardians of the Galaxy. Except maybe Bradley Cooper, you could argue him, and Vin Diesel, I guess. What fuck? Besides the voice people, I guess.
And Chris Pratt was like about to, but that
was the big one. Yeah. That was the first one. He earned it. I mean, you could see that star factor in him in Parks and Rec. It was hard to see because he was a fat fuck, but it was there, and you really see it just in interviews and stuff. And James Gunn, I mean, that's like, I mean, he truly is. He's better than Harrison Ford to me. He's like, I mean, Harrison Ford's a bit of a grumpy fuck, but
He is.
Yeah. But Chris, like if anybody's gonna break their leg with the hydraulic door, it'd be him. Like it's like he's almost like the Up guy where he falls, hurts himself with the cane or whatever. Like it's like very similar to me. The grumpy, just like, why are you here? Like sort of, he's like Batman. He's the alter ego Batman. I'm gonna wear hockey pads and all that. But get out of here. But you darn kids, Sandlotty. But yeah, I mean. James Gunn definitely, I'm with you. He writes to actors' strengths, and he showcases talent. Not necessarily like not Oscar talent and all that. He just showcases good. I mean, he's life affirming. He's hilarious without being shitty. I mean, I'm very jealous of him. It's amazing. But yeah. Any other thoughts?
Well, quickly, Chris Pratt kind of got lucky because he had Guardians, and then like 2 months later he had Jurassic World, or it wasn't 2 months, but it was close. It was close. That.
Yeah, so same year.
He got extremely.
Or no, Jurassic World was 2015, right?
Yeah, Guardians was 2014.
2014, August.
And then And then
Jurassic. It was 6 months, I'd say, or like under 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. So he definitely was the big breakout star of that film. Yeah, definitely
2 big leaps. Yeah.
But the trailer, obviously, I like that monster that they were fighting. I don't know what it's called, but it looked visually cool.
Yeah. It was fun, definitely. I mean, I love the Drax jumping up the 2 knives. Like, that was great. Like, I mean, that's what Guardians of the Galaxy should be. They're giving it a bigger budget, clearly. They believe in them. I love it. I'm excited as fuck. I can't wait to see it.
This is a standalone in the MCU. It's not going to connect with anything else, and it's...
Hooray!
Exactly. You love that.
Not a TV show episode.
But James Gunn wrote the script.
Did he work with the same co-writer? I actually need to look that up. As the first one.
Don't quote me on it, but
because I will say she was a grounding Amanda something. I want to say.
Yeah,
but she was a grounding influence. I think where he's a weird guy. I mean, just watch Super. There's a rape scene, girl on guy. Sorry, but let's see. Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's just cool because he wasn't gonna direct it if he got forced to like do another kind of interconnected film. And he wanted to make it his own, and he wanted to make it feel like a natural transition from the first one. So that's just so cool to see someone with the guts like that. And granted,
interesting.
He made a lot of money for them, so they have to trust him. So
definitely,
and it has a cast that can sell itself. So
like exactly, like now I don't think it's hard to trust him. I was just amazed that they did. To start with, like, because I mean, the guy made Super, which is literally a movie about how you'd have to be a psychopath to be a superhero. Like, he was shitting on the idea of being a superhero,
exactly.
which I love the idea that then what do you do next, James? I'm gonna do a superhero movie in the biggest fucking incestuous universe that exists. But he actually doesn't have the co-writer for this one. Nicole Perlman was her name.
Yeah, she's doing Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that makes sense. She's going on a very things. Good for her. Makes me a little nervous though, because I mean, I know it's weird when you lose a partner. I hope it didn't affect James Gunn's like confidence or anything like that. But I'm rooting for him, and I'm excited as fuck. It looks like it has everything. But hey, he'll get even more credit. Good for him. More glory for him. If this one's all him, good for him.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd say it's hard to kind of nitpick this and have any negatives, but
oh jeez, Ralph. Oh, Jesus.
You're pissed off because I'm nitpicking a Marvel
movie? I'm not pissed off, but I know, but it's just like, just a trailer. Like, I mean, what's there to bitch about in this? I don't know. I guess tell me.
It's hard to think of something because...
You don't have to. Don't do this Fox News balanced bullshit. Yeah. It's like, or CNN, like, everybody's right. You know, there are some trailers that are perfect and some are not.
Good point. Let's move on now. You want to move
on?
All
right. Good job. Look at that. Yeah, look at Ralph. Exactly. What a ballsy fuck. All right. What's our next trailer?
All right,
this one I'm excited for if I'm right about what it is.
It's not. It's definitely not.
Oh, never mind. Then this is Mummy.
This is like a big step down. So
yeah,
I read it.
Pretty anti. This is like you just got like a blowjob from your favorite porn star or the girl you fucking had a crush on the bus to go Swiss Army Man, which Ralph finally got me to watch. Highly recommended.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was a little queer, but I was okay with it. But it was a very beautiful movie. But yeah, this is like going from that to, like I was talking about, the hobo in a dark room in a bar. If you close your eyes hard enough, you can pretend it feels good. Just like the Mummy. All right.
Yeah.
But what are your I mean, it seriously, to me at least, it looks like Jack Reacher went into a sci-fi mystery movie. Like, that's how I'm... And I didn't even see Jack Reacher. I'm just comparing Jack Reacher's trailer to this. But how about you?
Totally. The Mummy clip, okay, it was 15 seconds, so obviously
50.
there's nothing.
And like 5 seconds of it was black screens with words.
But I will say, the actress who was playing the mummy, she was in Kingsman, and she was in the Star Trek movie, the new one.
Was she the legless chick?
Yeah, Sophia. I think her name is Sophia Boutella. She was on Schmoes one time. I saw it in an interview. But she looks really visually cool as the mummy. Obviously, they're doing a gender swap, which I don't mind. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Oh, I could give a shit.
I think that, the original
mummies can be any gender.
Yeah, this is 2016.
It's Queen Pharaoh.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
What's the fucking name of the bitch? Cleopatra.
Yeah,
It's 2016. 2016's mummy.
Exactly.
It's a repudiation of the alt-right and Donald Trump. It's such a brave film. Oh, I fucking hate them. They're all blowing each other like they're doing anything for the kids starving in Africa, rubbing two stones together, trying to start a fire over their nuts.
But going back to the mummy, the original Brendan Fraser movies, they're not great, but they're
guilty pleasures.
They're entertaining.
Sure. I'm with you. They are.
God bless.
Wait, I want to ask you, did you have any nightmares as a kid from the second one where there was the son, that scene with the Beatles crawling up the walls? That for me was like horrifying as a kid. That stuck with me. Like I would feel bugs in my bed. There probably were with all the fucking
Definitely
dogs,
in the moment, but I didn't have nightmares. But,
gotcha. Brendan Fraser, I wanted to be as a kid because that and Tarzan.
Exactly.
But you go.
But seriously, God bless Brendan Fraser because what the hell is he doing today? Like
poor guy, poor monkey looking fuck.
Sorry, I have to make another Schmoes joke.
Please, you're good.
I have to. Ken Knapsack,
your Schmoes on Bill Burr.
Yeah, when he was talking about the reboot of The Mummy, he made a joke that Brendan Fraser thought he was applying to be in the new Mummy film, but he was actually filling out a Universal Studios customer service something. I ruined the joke.
That's good.
Or
maybe doing an update of the. I don't know if you've taken the Mummy ride of that stupid video.
It's a good ride. Like it really is.
It is a good ride. If you go to here are life tips, pro tips. Watch Swiss Army Man and try the Mummy if you're ever in Universal.
Exactly. But yeah, the clip again, 10 seconds. Sophia Boutella looks visually cool.
Agreed.
Definitely Tom Cruise.
Looks a little Indian, honestly, like
does.
Hare Krishna or whatever, the multiple eyes.
And you definitely expect that coming in, but like having Tom Cruise in this kind of gives it a level of validation because he's getting up there in age, and he only has a few action movies left in him. So if he's picking this film, either he got a huge fee or he kind of believes in it. So
I don't see that. I don't see Tom Cruise like an artist or anything. Sorry, that'd be a dick. When's the last time Tom Cruise did a movie where it was like, I'm doing this because I believe in it? I mean, if we were serious, I don't know. But not to be a dick. But I also agree though. But you're right about he's a star and his brand and it succeeding is valuable to him. Just like Will Smith. Will Smith is butthurt because he doesn't get to say I'm Mr. Number One box office anymore after Earth after that thing that never happened. But should have never happened. But what I was surprised by most in the trailer was Russell Crowe. I didn't know he was in that thing. What is he playing? You said
Dr. Jekyll.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You never heard of them because you haven't seen League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. A great guilty pleasure movie. I actually read the comics a little by Alan Moore, the great Alan Moore. The psycho, the big wizard beard Alan Moore. He looks like a fucking Dungeons and Dragons character. But he's a good shit. But a little nutty. But been ripped off though, so I'll give him a pass. I would go crazy too if I wrote 3 amazing graphic novels and didn't get a dime for any of them. But yeah, I mean, I forgot. Oh yeah, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Go to Wikipedia, Ralph. That's all I can say. All right, what's the next story?
Fair enough. Okay, so this is definitely this is worse. So obviously when you think of Amy Schumer.
Okay, wait, Ralph. When are we gonna talk about LOUS2? You
want to talk about it?
Are you planning that for later? After we get all the trailers out of the way, or what are you thinking?
Last of Us 2. Let's talk about it.
All right, bam!
Let's talk about
that's
it.
what I was excited for. Okay, so this is the one that the hype train could have kept steamrolling, and we had to fucking take a pit stop and talk about The Mummy. So, Last of Us 2 trailer, I fucking loved it. An interesting point, while me and Ralph were just talking about it ourselves, I think, is like, it is emotional. It has an emotional core just from the song and hearing Joel and just the great cinematic opening, seeing him where you wonder for a second with that. I thought it was Joel's hand at first doing that, and then they had two two hand fake outs with Joel. You thought maybe she had killed him or something. That was him bloody on the floor. And then spoiler alerts for the fucking trailer. Fuck off. And you cunt. But then when he comes in, just hearing his voice and seeing the boots and the gun, that revolver that we all had to fucking reload and get eaten from like 10 times. But
True.
And then when you hear the clicker at the end of her song, which is great. But I mean, it had emotional core. But what was interesting is like that trailer would have done nothing for us if this was for the first game. Like, there was something interesting in that, like, it's very much, they know they've gotten you to give a shit about these characters. So I give them props. And one thing I will say, I didn't see the trailer until today. I had seen the announcement for it from Neil Druckmann. And I didn't play Uncharted 4. So I don't know how much stock to put into this, but I'll put the same amount I do for fucking the cunt Zack Snyder, the great music video director Zack Snyder. And I'll say, like, he did the good fan service thing where he said, you know, we knew we wanted to make a sequel. We tried a couple stories. They didn't seem right. And we were just about to be done with it till we found a story that we thought was worthy. So, you know, he's always a little bit pretentious, but the fact that he said that and, like, that feeling, I mean, bottom line, they were going to make a sequel no matter what. But the fact that they really did wait for a story that was worthy gives me hope. It gives me, you know, like, I didn't play Uncharted 4, so I don't know. Like, bottom line, that was a business decision. And they said, oh, we had a great story. I don't know. I'm curious for Theo's opinion on that.
Actually, I'm currently playing Uncharted 4.
Is it good? Have you played the previous, though?
I played 1 and 2, not 3.
Okay.
So.
Okay, still, your opinion's semi-valid.
Yeah. No, I need to play 3. I'm going to play 3 after 4. But 4 so far is very good.
It is. Okay,
yeah.
So it felt worthwhile, and it was actually advancing characters, not just like some retread, some soulless retread. Okay, that's good. Then that gives me more faith in it, and that's my main thing. Like, I want this to be, I don't want it, like, don't make me feel like at the end of this game, the first one should have been it. I mean, the first one, I mean, I'm not as big, I'm not all over The Last of Us dicks most people are. Like, I thought it was one of the high marks of storytelling in video games. I give it that. But, like, I don't think it was like, I think if you made a movie from it, you need more than what was in that. And there were certain predictable things, you know you're coming into a cutscene and you'd see a bunch of guns on the floor and be going, oh, things are about to happen. I better pick these up before. Like, there are those kind of things that just video games are learning as a medium how to get past blending storytelling and players actually having a role, but and not being a point and click adventure game. But yeah, the show is fucking awesome to me. You know, all my religious baggage bullshit made me love the song. Joel and Ellie, just seeing them together. And Ellie, I mean, that was super cinematic. The blood trickling down her face, the look in her eyes. You never see Joel's face, which I fucking love. It's the power shots of him from below and above, and then just the gun in his hand, and just, I can't, so I'm like, are you sure I'm going to kill every last one of them? I don't know if that's fireflies, or who, or what, or if there's some new enemy, or if, like, maybe, the one thing I could kind of guess is, like, maybe, I can't remember if her mom died already. Yeah, she did. But if maybe she found out who killed, maybe the fireflies killed her mom to take her, or something. Although she got bit later, so never mind. But something where something was wrapped up with the mom dying, but or maybe found her father. I don't know. But yeah, that's where my brain goes to. But how about you? What do you think of it?
Definitely these kind of games, you don't have to play them. Like, I could definitely just watch these on YouTube.
Totally.
I see these as films, really, not kind of games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stories.
Yeah, the stories are obviously way more
important than
the
the challenge of getting to the next cutscene.
Yeah, like,
exactly.
That's kind of annoying me. Like, I'm just like, okay, get on with the story.
Yeah, I get that feeling sometimes too. Like, I do appreciate, like, I appreciate the good gameplay though, where, like, I like how they actually had a decent amount of, like, in-game story though, like how you could get those speech checks with her where she'd have her joke book and things like, and like she'd say something and be like, oh shit, time to talk to Ellie. Like, those were good. And I know you haven't finished Last of Us, but you'll get, so just keep an eye out for that just as a tip. But Jesus, you're just playing half of every Naughty Dog game ever made.
Exactly.
But a great way to live life. But yeah, like they did a good job of that. I mean, there's always a compromise between game mechanics and challenge and story and logic in it with those mechanics. So I think they're going to get better at that each and every game. And I think you can pretty much give Naughty Dog that chart, even though a lot of people would argue Uncharted 3 was maybe a half step back from 2. I think it was in some respects, and then in some respects it got better. But just because characters changed. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm with you. I would totally just watch. I would prefer if they just made a CGI movie, like honestly. But there is something psychologically special for games where you can be more impacted by a game than anything else in some ways because it's you who made it, especially when there's a choice or there's a feeling of. I mean, bottom line, by the end, when you so no spoilers, I know you haven't finished it. Basically, you get Ellie so far to a place, and you get the feeling you get is because you've surmounted all these challenges, and that's how you have to do it. Where it's like you have to blend in that earning feeling. But yeah, any other thoughts?
Yeah, obviously the trailer, the clip, relies heavily on you knowing the characters and having a history with them.
Definitely.
But it works. Like, you have to go in.
Yeah, it works. Totally, it works.
But I'm definitely excited for this. I don't normally drop $60 on a game, but chances are I'm going to buy this. Actually,
yeah, that's true. I'll wait. I have a lot of time.
So, I mean,
Theo buys it. You don't have to buy it.
But
exactly.
Yeah, this is going to be a day one purchase for me.
Definitely.
And Theo was like really excited, and a lot of people online were
freaking out. I'm sure
they're like losing their shit. Like, obviously, you knew a couple days before that this was coming, but you can never kind of expect it because the first one has such a great audience, and yeah, I'm excited for it.
I got blown up. Now I'm curious. Have you played BioShock Unlimited?
No.
Okay. We could have a great discussion about that, but Ralph's an uncultured cunt. He doesn't play enough video games. Oh, loser.
Exactly.
But all right. Well, then that debate for another time. What's our next story, buddy?
We're done with the trailers, and now we're going to move on to Amy Schumer.
Okay,
is going to be in a Barbie movie.
Huh.
This
is that
look,
PC.
Look.
Bullshit.
When I see Amy Schumer, I see a Barbie doll. Like, she looks like a Barbie doll. Like, seriously.
What are you talking about? She's fat. Not to be the asshole misogynist, but it's like
kind of.
She's a piglet. She should be playing the Miss Piggy from fucking whatever not Sesame Street, Muppets. Yeah, Muppets, Kermit and all that. That's who she reminds me of. Like, I mean, I get that it's maybe going like Barbie's gotten a lot. Like, Barbie was designed by a man. So I learned this in my fucking Good Life class. Barbie was designed by a man who was dating basically a famous actress who was basically the Barbie of her time. Like, she literally looks very similar. So it was very much made in a man's image. So I get all the misogyny and fucked up shit behind it. But it's like, let Barbie movies just be CGI shitty ripoffs of like Rapunzel and shit like that, where they have to pay some fee to whoever poor German fuck wrote it, and his great grandson who owns some slaves can get a check. But yeah, how about you?
Well, this is it will be animated. Actually, it is animated.
Okay, so she's doing the voice. But okay, I'm fine with that.
She has the look, which is unrelated. But this is in a sense a smart business move because Barbie dolls sell like crazy. They always They always will.
But this one's gonna get theatrical release. That's the only difference. Like, Barbie's been making movies for a long time.
Oh yeah, animated stuff. This has been for a while. Yeah. But it's a smart business decision. Little girls will see this. They'll enjoy it.
Do you think it'll be as big as the Lego movie?
No, not even close. The Lego movie is one of the most special animated films.
It's about the writers and directors, though. Yeah. Like, if they do something interesting, then it could. Like, But I don't believe in Amy Schumer that much. I haven't watched any of her stand-up or anything, so I really have no opinion. I've heard stuff like Joe Thief that I get paranoid about. I didn't see Trainwreck. Yeah. So, but I mean... I wish her best of luck. I don't have any like negative feelings about her really, besides the possible joke stealing. But yeah, like alleged, I guess. Don't sue me. Fuck off, corporate cunts. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little cautious on this. But I mean, hopefully it does something actually interesting and artistically valid. It isn't just a movie to sell toys. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with that, but you gotta also kind of keep up the storytelling and. When I first heard of the Lego movie, I had the same thoughts.
Oh, same. Like, I was big against it. Like, definitely.
So hearing this, it's probably gonna be bad, but I'm not.
But cause a Lego movie, exactly. You're saying optimistic. Yeah.
I'll keep.
You might see it when your sister's watching it.
I'll keep an open mind.
Same. Yeah. I won't. I'm gonna be closed minded. I just know I am. But I mean, unless this is directed by the vaginal version of Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, or maybe I mixed those two up. But
no, you're good.
But yeah, I doubt it. Cool. All right. I'm looking forward to Han Solo with my boy Anton Uda Dara Nika Hocha Hoya.
It's Alden Ehrenreich, I think.
Yeah, Alden. My bad.
Yeah.
Something Nazi.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Her Alden break. That's right. And then Lando Calrissian, fucking Childish Gambino, who dropped his latest album, and it sounds weird and nothing like him, and I don't think there's a single goddamn rap song on it, but I'm digging it. To give another life tip. But yeah, what's our? That was actually an interesting story. I didn't hear anything about that. Thank you for culturing me, Ralph. Now play Bioshock Infinite, finish Last of Us, finish Uncharted 4. Then send me Uncharted 4.
Well, it's Theo's, so.
Send me.
Okay, fine. I'll do it. Sorry, Theo.
All right. I'll be back.
Yeah.
So what's our next story?
Well, earlier you brought up Robert Kelly has a new show being released on, I believe, HBO, or is it FX?
FX. So I don't know a lot about Robert Kelly. I would hear him on Opie and Anthony Radio, because I was being that from Patrice O'Neal, Bill Burr, the Cellar Crowd, Louis C.K. is a part of that. And Robert Kelly's basically this fat, fuck, bald guy with, like, little caterpillar eyebrows. And he's very whiny, but he's a funny guy. And he did a short film with Bill Burr, actually, in 2011, I think. And it actually did pretty well in film festivals. It was like 25 minutes. Him, Robert Kelly, Bill Burr, Robert Kelly, and I want to say Joe DeRosa. And who Bill Burr did a radio show for a while with, too. But yeah, I just know Robert Kelly. I automatically like him because he has the Boston cred with me from being on Opie and Anthony and being the Boston comic, and because Bill Burr likes him. And he's going to be co-writing this, co-creating, and it's going to be based off his own life. Kind of sounds like kind of in that Louis, Seinfeld, whatever, the comedian gets his own show vein, Maron, but I wish him the best because I want him to succeed. And yeah, that's all I got to say about it. I don't know anything about it really. There isn't a lot. It's going to deal, he's a fat fuck, so it's going to deal with his food addiction. But
interesting.
Yeah.
And when is it being released?
It just the deal was signed and they're in pre-production, so writing.
Interesting.
So, it's kind of like if we were back to a year and a half ago when Atlanta got announced. So it's like, and nobody knew how good it was going to. Granted, how many white people have watched it? Not me, but
I'm going to.
Sure.
I do.
Just so you're going to play Bioshock Infinite, finish Last of Us, and Uncharted 4.
I will.
That reminded me of what's the Luke? You're our only hope. Like it had that very somber.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, we're
promise
fucked.
me.
Yeah.
Exactly. I will do it. I'll take the colonoscopy. I will. I'm trying to think of the. I'm a legend. I will. Oh, I believe in fairies. I do from Peter Pan.
Yeah, that's
it. Yeah, so that's what I always get that. But so what's our next story?
Well, this is our second to last story.
All right.
Yeah, so we got a quick Spider-Man news thing here.
Might be under an hour and a half for once.
Totally, yeah. No, I wanted to, because I knew you gotta mix up the big comic book stuff. You can't just.
That was good.
You can't put it all at the top. Yeah.
I also want to say, let's apologize to anybody who watches. I didn't know that we had all these fucking ads in the middle. I mean, granted, we want an ad at least at the beginning because you're getting an hour and a half of fucking content. But just sorry for the fucking ones that were every 2 minutes that I saw in the last one. That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that.
It's YouTube's fault.
It's YouTube, exactly.
Fuck
Ralph,
YouTube.
Ralph. I thought Ralph was being a cunt. I was gonna get angry. Like, Ralph, what are you trying to? You trying to jip our fucking 11 viewers? No wonder.
It's like, please click on all the ads so I can get 5 cents in my bank account. I need the money for Christmas, please.
But yeah. So yeah. Sorry, Spider-Man. Get back on that.
So there was a clip that was played in Brazil Comic-Con that wasn't released. Hopefully the trailer is going to be soon. But apparently Kevin Feige and co. are doing a very old comic book feature with the suit where he has the webbing under his armpit, so he can he can like glide
and fly. Yeah, I remember that.
So what do you
that was in the games.
What do you think about that?
It works for the Marvel world. Like, that's the thing where I remember last time I was really into like Schmoes Know and all the podcasts and movie news, where I was one of the cunts that listens to videos like this. I was when Justice League was first being announced and Man of Steel was, and I was going like, I was on the train of put the fucking dump truck full of money on Christian Bale's lawn. But like, I remember one great comment. I don't know who originally said it because everybody just kind of jumped on the bandwagon and pretended they were profound. But somebody made the point like, could you picture, Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight in the satellite space station of the Justice League or fighting off aliens? You just can't. So it's that thing. But Marvel did a great job. Bottom line, they have a great thematic cohesiveness. I give them that.
Exactly.
Like it all has a similar spirit and soul, and that's why I get so sick of it because it's like eating the same goddamn food every meal. But granted, all I do is eat frozen pizza, so I don't know why I'm bitching. But yeah, I mean, that sounds totally fine to me. I mean, I love the cartoon as a kid. I read the comics. I think he's your favorite character, right? And then,
yes.
Or is that wrong? Yeah, I thought so. But I'm actually excited. I mean, I heard so many good things from Civil War. I'm guessing you didn't have the webbing in Civil War if this is news.
No.
Okay, so I wonder what that montage of the suit making is going to be like.
I can describe the montage. Well, not the montage, but like the clip that they showed in Brazil.
Yeah, do that. Sure.
So basically, the clip starts with Happy Hogan, Jon Favreau, and he's handing Peter like a briefcase with the new suit, and then you see him.
Oh, Iron Man made it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
He did. And then,
that's cool.
And then you see Spider-Man just kind of jumping off the Washington Monument, and then he like glides, which
nice.
I want to see it. But
that's awesome.
Yeah,
no, that's all. I get it. The nerds all jizzed in their pants just now. Just that description.
But I'm glad that Jon Favreau is back. Like it's been a while since he's been Happy Hogan.
Yeah, because Iron Man. I agree. Jon Favreau, I love. That guy's close. Swingers is one of the best movies you ever see. I think it's still on Netflix. Watch that movie. Trust me. You will not. That'll be some of the best 2 hours you ever spend in your life. That's a real fucking movie.
I tell you what, I watched that before I played that video game that you mentioned 3 times.
But that sounds good. I
forget what it's called.
Bioshock Infinite. You should play Bioshock 1 first. But yeah, you definitely got to play Bioshock. It's a lot of work, so just forget it. But
okay.
But what's weird, basically the thing with Bioshock Infinite that the discussion we could have had is it came out the same like fucking month as Last of Us, and they were both the best games of 2013. Like basically people either picked one or the other, right? And so a lot of it was Bioshock Infinite was on both platforms, so more people or actually less people might have played it because in the end the division that made the game had to close because it didn't make enough fucking money. But it was definitely. It had an amazing story. I'd say it had a better story, just plot-wise overall. Like there might have been better character shit. I'd say there was better character development in Last of Us, but as a game and a plot and everything, I think I enjoyed my experience with Bioshock Infinite more, truly. Like, if I had to watch a movie, I'd probably rather watch Last of Us. If I had to, like, Bioshock Infinite was like Inception. Last of Us was like The Road or Walking Dead, it was like or like an artsier film, right? But even though I think Inception deserved Oscars, but Bioshock Infinite, and it was weird because they both had parallels. Where up until that point, everybody had shat on escort missions. You have to protect the girl, and in both those games, you were a tough, grizzled bad guy who was trying to be good, who had like lost family members and shit like that. Maybe not necessarily Bioshock Infinite actually there, but and who was protecting a girl, and everybody went, fuck, I have to do an escort, and then the girl ended up being badass. You wanted to bang the fuck out of her, even whether you're a pedophile or not. And like, so, I mean, there's a bunch of porn from the chick in Bioshock Infinite. I can't remember. Like, it's funny. I've never watched it. I'm not into the hentai shit. But, maybe. But, one day. But, there's always something new on it. You gotta have something to look forward to every morning. But yeah, Bioshock Infinite was just a great game. But if you do play Bioshock Infinite, you have to play Bioshock 1 first. Because the ending of Bioshock Infinite ties in with the other games. And it's profound as fuck. Like, what they did talking about stories was truly... Like, I don't know how you top it. Like, I think there might one day be a sequel. I hope not. If the original creator, Ken Devine, I want to say, isn't there. Levine, maybe. Very Jewish is the bottom line. But, a great game. But yeah. Swingers, Jon Favreau, that was me that put him on the map. He wrote it. He didn't get to direct it. I think Doug Liman did. The guy who directed...
Edge of Tomorrow.
End of Tomorrow. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I think. And then The Firstborn. Maybe, yeah, and but yeah, he did a great job directing, and it's just a great movie about relationships, friendships. It has a lot of truth, a lot of soul, and it's and Jon Favreau was just, I mean, I respect that guy. Wrote his own. I mean, a guy like that doesn't make it in Hollywood unless he writes a great script. Just like Sylvester Stallone with that fucking accent and that fucked up face, or fucking Matt Damon with his accent, even though he's a sexy fuck. But those kind of people, the non sons and daughters of the Coppolas will change their fucking names. Nicolas Cage, Ben Schwartzman, you fucks. But, you incestuous cunts. Those people wrote their own tickets, and Jon Favreau did. And yeah, he wrote shitty movies like Iron Man 2, but, I mean, still, the man is a good man and he has creative integrity. Although he's doing Lion King, so maybe not. But but yeah, I recommend Swingers. But yeah, let's keep talking about Spider-Man though. That's pretty awesome. I'm sure all the nerds are jizzing. I like that suit idea. That's good. When's this movie supposed to come out?
It's July 9th. So the first trailer is going to be
pretty soon. Huh?
Okay, so the rumor is the first trailer is going to be released with Rogue One, which makes a lot of
cool.
sense.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Disney owning the kingdom.
Yeah, well, Disney's Sony and Disney.
Oh, we should add on for today, just after the last story, Disney buying Netflix and do our opinions on that. But yeah,
definitely. Yeah, but I like what they're doing here because obviously you have to separate this film from the other ones. So they're kind of doing a lot of old comic book stuff, which I like.
I dig it.
Yeah. They are, yeah. And everything I've seen, it's exactly what I want. It's coming of age. It's Peter Parker in high school, that's who he is. You've seen small moments of that in the other films, but but this film is gonna be the main focus. Him in high school, dealing with being Spider-Man and having to do his homework and being back by his curfew, which is awesome.
That's good. Perfect. Spider-Man 1, I think, did a good job. The original Sam Raimi, but then Spider-Man 2, he kind of lost sight of it. But yeah, I'm with you. That sounds great. Honestly, that sounds like a dream. I really look forward to it. And I'll actually watch that Marvel movie if it isn't a soulless rock that should be just dropped down some sewer drain.
Yeah, the one thing that I'm very hesitant of right now is Michael Keaton as the Vulture, because he's a great actor, but I haven't seen anything about him in the role.
And Spider-Man always has notorious trouble with villains, is the bottom line.
In the film,
he doesn't have. Yeah. He has a great rogues gallery for the cartoon and things like that, but for live action, it's hard for them to not seem cartoonish, and just even for Marvel fucking standards with Loki and all that shit. It's hard to make Vulture seem real, or Sandman. I could see, but yeah.
Well, they tried Sandman in Spider-Man 3, and that didn't
work. Exactly. Yeah. And I think he was the strongest one in that. But yeah. He actually had they did a decent job with him, honestly, I would say. But Venom is a hard one where it tries to go into the horror genre with almost the Thing sort of genre. But which I wonder if that came out after the Thing, because if it did, it's a shameless ripoff. Although it kind of became its own thing by the end.
I think it did. Funny. I think the Thing. Yeah, Spider-Man 3 was after that. It was.
Yeah, no, I don't mean the movie. The movie's definitely after. I mean in the comics.
Okay.
For Venom. Right. But because the Thing was 1982, so no question. But there's a remake in 2011. So I thought you meant that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I heard the remake wasn't too terrible. Definitely, it just can't be as good. That's a classic movie. Such a great movie. Yeah. Got to see that. But one of the few John Carpenter movies that isn't just gross and actually has a plot. The Fly is another one of his with old Jeff Goldblum. Old Jeff Goldie. That's a sad. That movie haunted me for a long time. That's a sad and gross, but just. I can't pick which is mostly, but that was a hard movie. That was a romance movie, honestly, at its core. And then what if the person you love became a fly mushy monster who wants to eat you, but and wants you to suck on his antennas, but and play with his fuzz. But yeah, Spider-Man sounds like shit. Marvel just doesn't fuck up. That maybe I'm just rooting against it because it's so successful, or it's just the cunt in me. But these fuckers. But granted, some of them don't deserve to. But yeah, good for them. Bottom line, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 gets priority there, and then maybe catching up on all the shit I haven't watched. Granted, I got Westworld. That's the thing. I got Westworld. Why should I watch more? But I'm with you.
Okay.
And Marvel doesn't put their things on Netflix. That's another problem.
That's true.
Well, they're putting Civil War 2, though, you said.
That's Christmas. That's going to be on there Christmas. So, yeah.
Cool.
You want to move on now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I'm going to have a hard time describing this. So, apparently, there's a sex scene in Last Tango in Paris.
Yeah, I'll describe this one because I've read the article. Yeah, so, famous movie from 1972, I think. I haven't seen it. Marlon Brando, I always go back and forth on, is he a cunt? Is he somehow a soulful guy who rebelled against the system? I really just think he was an obese fuck who, maybe he was all actors just maybe it's almost like if Dave Chappelle had become some obese, drug-addicted douchebag, and still comedians would be like, I wish I had that talent. Maybe it's that, where that guy just had so much talent in one fingernail that, it's that thing, and he just kind of, not wasted it, but it could have been more. Because, there's crazy stories with him. Like for Apocalypse Now, which is an amazing. I mean, that's a life-changing movie. Honestly, that movie, 1976, made by Francis Ford Coppola. He got the money for it after making the Godfather movies. Actually, the first one that he got to make was The Conversation. Then that he made it with Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen suffered a heart attack during filming that. Had to crawl 3 miles back to the set while he was doing the scene in a river. Almost died. Yeah, because this is the 70s when that rules. So just like the story, the 70s did not have rules for filmmaking. It took a year and a half to make the movie. The guy, this was back in film. They had something like 3 million feet of film to sift through. And like one of the famous things is he ends the films by just blowing up all these palm trees. And basically that was just excess foot. Like they bought basically the, I want to say Colombian government had these extra helicopters that were off duty. They bought those from them for like this amazing war sequence. Robert Duvall played an amazing character with the famous quote, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning," and Charlie, don't surf, where like basically, you know, the enemy doesn't, where he likes to surf. He's a surfboard redneck. I just did a kind of character based off the book Heart of Darkness. Great book, big book. James Ellroy quoted it for I think the dedication to one of his novel, or the first, you know, the quote before a novel. A lot of writers do that. Can't remember. He also quoted The Nigger of Narcissus. That's a title. I'm allowed to say it. It's like it's like when your sister says that sibling that bad word, and you get to say what they said to tattle, but or the story. But yeah. So back to Apocalypse Now, Marlon Brando. So Marlon Brando basically plays this guy named Kurtz, who's at the end of the jungle. I don't know. I won't blow down the whole movie. It's better for you to watch it. But Harrison Ford, that was actually his first role. Harrison Ford was a carpenter on the set of Apocalypse Now. Got his first acting role.
Really?
From Francis Ford Coppola and George Lucas were good friends in the 70s. They had a little, I think Francis Ford Coppola said something mean about George Lucas's first, either American Graffiti, and they both, like, Harrison Ford came from Coppola to Lucas because of their relationship. So Apocalypse Now was his first big thing. He was a carpenter on the set. Wasn't planning on being. It's those stories. That's what I'm talking about with like the soundtrack where people like the Back to Your Mom. Yeah. Harrison Ford is great because he's that self-made, lucky success, and it's like for every Brad Pitt and Harrison Ford, there's a million with the name where their whole family is like the gentrified like aristocracy in Hollywood. But sorry, off that rant. But so Harrison Ford was in that. He plays one of the CIA men, shady guys who are talking. He had the chin scar very prevalently. He was also in The Conversation, but. Might have been The Conversation of this first one, so I might be conflating stories. But he was a carpenter on a Francis Ford Coppola movie, and that's how he got in. But
okay.
So Marlon Brando, he has these amazing monologues in it, kind of similar to Blade Runner, where they're gibberish, but like they paid Marlon Brando a bunch, like so much money because he was huge, literally, and like he was like 300 pounds at that time, obese. And this guy used to be this guy was not Easy Rider, but Rebel Without a Cause. James Dean, the guy in the leather jacket on the motor, you know, he was the epitome of masculinity and sexiness and all that. And then he became this fat fuck. Dennis, what's the name of the Easy Rider guy, and who had a comeback with True Romance? You know what I'm talking about? Christian Slater's dad in that. Dennis. Not Dennis Leary. I keep wanting to say Dennis Leary. It's not Dennis O'Hare, but I think people know what I'm talking about if you look up Dennis. But he was in it, and he said Marlon Brando reeked of cocaine. That whole set. So Marlon Brando was like drug, you know, just snorting coke, obese, somehow fat and snorting coke, and basically has this amazing monologue where he's in the shadows. Francis Ford Coppola had to frame all the lighting to hide how disgusting Marlon Brando looked. Marlon Brando had shaved his head, done all these crazy things with his character. He refused to say what was in the script. And basically, but it's that weird thing where he is, in his crazy narcissism, he is still so talented, where he came up with these random monologues that are just so twistedly beautiful. And there's like, he really did embody the character, or he was just, part of it is you don't know if he's just almost the original troll, trolling the audience, just saying shit and having America take it as profound. But there's really where he has this amazing monologue about how he's not the grocer, he's the butcher, and this stuff, like these great, as he's talking to Martin Sheen, who's his prisoner, like it's the strangest thing. But so basically I'm establishing that Martin Brando is a weirdo. But so Marlon Brando 4 years prior was The Last Tango in Paris, 1972. And it was a very artsy film. And a big thing was that it had a rape scene, a very brutal rape scene that was very traumatic. The audience was like, what the fuck? I didn't sign up for this. And I'm sure people ended up watching it because there's a pretty hot rape scene there, just like Super. But basically what happened is there was I want to say 14-year-old girl, 14-year-old actress who no sex happens, so that needs to be made clear. You know, there was no penises entering vaginas. It simulates sex. It's Hollywood. I mean, it was the 70s, but it wasn't the 70s. You know what I mean? But and it wasn't the 60s, I guess. But not free love, paid love, very much in Hollywood. But
Definitely.
basically in the script, there was no mention of using butter as basically Marlon Brando used a stick of butter as lubricant for the rape scene, and so there's no mention of that in the script. And they didn't tell her before. The director wanted, and he wanted this girl, you know, honestly scared. You know, he wanted a true reaction, which a lot of directors do. Granted, not to 14-year-old girls generally. Like, often you have to coax stuff out of child actors where, like, there are tricks. You train them to look at the actor next to them for their lines and get the words from them if they're forgetting. And there are little tricks in the trade. And, like, Quentin Tarantino would do things where he wouldn't tell, you know, there are all the Spielberg. All of them have done this. But not necessarily a 14-year-old girl during a rape scene.
Not to this,
but
not,
I get
not
it.
to
You're getting
this extent.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, this is kind of an extreme of that. So you can kind of understand it from, like, there's a history, there's a precedent. But you know, like, a lot of actors can be like, that wasn't in the script, you didn't tell me. And it's like, yeah, well, you could have never given that scene truly out of your own acting ability. Like, sorry, this is a business. But so she felt pressured into it. Like she said, if she had done it today, she would have known she could have called her lawyer agent, not done it. And, like, the thing is, they could have found a girl to do this. I'm sure they filmed a bunch of stuff, want to keep her. And it's kind of fucked up that they snuck it. But so basically, she felt traumatized and felt raped. Then all these fucking dumb cunt celebrities tweet in, a woman was raped. Like, you know, I'm ashamed, I'm angry, rage, whatever. You know, I get it, their heart's in the right place. But they probably didn't even read the full fucking article. They're just bandwagging PC liberal cunts. And, you know, I'm neither. I really am. I'm registered independent, blah, blah, blah. Probably still liberal on most things. But fuck PC-ness. And I see both sides. Like, I mean, this girl's 14 and has a sweaty, belligerent, probably reeking of cocaine, drunk 40-year-old man rubbing butter on her pelvis when she hadn't signed up for that. Or I'm guessing that's what the scene is. I haven't watched it. Probably should have before talking about this out of my ass, or out of my pelvis, or out of my kitchen. But yeah. So I mean, that seems to be a story where it's gotten discussion restarted because I guess it got a maybe 30-year anniversary. No, it's 2016, 1972. So I don't know where somehow this discussion got reignited. And basically, the lady who played the girl already died of cancer in 2011. But the director is quoted as saying he felt bad about it. But he said, "I want a real reaction." She said she didn't like the director after that, and that he would play mind games. But a lot of directors have been cold and soft to their directors are weird. They're fucked up in it. I mean, one writer I don't like his writing that much, David Mamet. I mean, he was great for Glengarry Glenn Ross, but he said he has a theory that all directors have Asperger's, and that made me laugh. And I'd say that's, from what I've seen, that's pretty much right. They're efficient, they're bad with human beings, but they get things done, and that's exactly really a director's job.
That's the important thing.
Exactly, they don't have that emotional maturity or ability. They're kind of sociopaths where they're not good at, it's about the scene, and they're not good at really connecting with people outside of a scene. And I would say that's probably true of most of them. So I mean, I don't know how much of it is that this guy's cusp of Asperger's-ness, but it sounds like just a generally fucked up situation to me. And that's my take. How about you?
Yeah.
I mean, this is stuff that I almost don't even want to talk about because it's so radioactive and toxic. But
it is, and I feel like I need to see the scene before I talk about it.
Same. Exactly. I agree. We're all talking about
more context to it. But...
Exactly. We're one level above Chris Evans and Jessica Chastain and all the cunts. Even though I love Chris Evans, but all the cunts weighing in. But still, we are ignorant fucks weighing in. But yeah. I'm with you. That's true.
I get both sides of the argument here. On the one hand, you definitely need a real, at least a believable reaction.
Exactly, for a rape scene.
But given she is
we're doing it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. But given that she was, I think 14 when she filmed it. Teenagers aren't the best actors sometimes, so.
Oh, they're the worst. I hate
exactly.
Actors.
So he needed the scene to be done, and it was done. So, but on the other hand, she's 14 and she's innocent, and you can't. At least you can't do that. That's just
exactly. Like usually, line. Like in scenes when there's pedophilia and stuff like that, the child doesn't know what's happening. And granted, we're okay with having 12-year-olds say fuck and shows like Stranger Things and stuff now. So like, there's all these weird lines, and so it's really just kind of like
that's more real though.
Established line. Exactly, that's more real. Exactly, I agree. But it's just like, you know, were these kids saying fuck a bunch? I don't know. Like when I was 12, I wasn't necessarily. Granted, most kids in the 80s were. You know, like it's all. I went to religious school, so there's that. But yeah. So I mean, I'd say it's hard to delineate that line. She might be 16, so it might be around there also. Which it's weird how just 2 years changes that whole thing a lot for us. Like on a morality is very. It's our intuitions are weird, but
yeah, like 16 seems like more like reasonable. Like
exactly, like all of a sudden it's way less traumatic. You know? Exactly, like why is that? Exactly, just being honest about our feelings. Like it's an interesting thing. Like I was thinking that the whole time. Like, well, if she's 16, I mean, it's a stick of butter. Grow up, you know. It's like it's sort of that feeling like you hit a certain age and people just don't give a shit about your problems. Just like it's like Louis C.K. joke with 40 with his doctor. He said, you know, you just go to the doctor one day and they stop trying to fix you. They just go, yeah, that happens. And he's like, if I was 24, they'd cut off half my right pinky toe, stretch it out to give me a new umbilical cord or some ridiculous thing, and rebuild my knee with robot parts. Like, and it's just 40. You're like, fuck, that happens. Sorry.
I'm gonna die soon. Whatever.
Exactly. It's just gotta. But I mean, I think there's that thing with 16. It's just like there is sort of the shake it off, grow up, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it sounds. I kind of get like I get the art, which like ends just by the means. Like I don't know that I could do that. That's definitely for me. It's just like. I'd probably just want to get a young-looking actress and then like, do that scene.
I would want to get someone who would understand the art and would be willing to do it. That's
exactly.
Yeah, or get like
consent is important.
Get like a 21-year-old who looks like she's younger. So it's
do Lindsay Lohan, and then you get to maybe fuck her after. Who knows? But and then she would have snorted a lot of coke with Marlon, as we know, and they would have chopped off their pinkies.
Probably
be topical with everything we're talking about. But yeah. Playing the knife game. But yeah, I don't know. It's just sort of fucked. All the celebrities should shut the fuck up. The lady's dead. It's almost just like pointless. This outrage, like just bringing up all the feminist bullshit. Just like
it's not doing anything.
It's just the outrage machine that the internet is, and PC-ness and liberal cuntiness and self-righteousness and all. Oh, I'm more angry than you. Smoke is coming up. My blood is boiling. It's absolutely reprehensible. You know,
I hope all of that ends very soon. Yeah, I'm sick of it.
I know, like this director's probably gonna die in like a week. He's probably just gonna shoot himself so he doesn't have to deal with this bullshit, or just live in his mansion. It sounds like he never did anything else anyway. I mean, honestly, to me, a big part is if she actually got raped, of course, absolutely horrible. Fuck that. But I mean.
It's not that
like a stick of butter. There is something also just creepy about a stick of butter. I'll say that. Like that's a creepy. Part of it is also that it's just like I want a stick of butter on my face, never mind on my pelvis. Like I don't like touching butter at all. If I get the butter grease and the knife on my fingers, I have to wash my hands. Granted, I'm an OCD fuck. Like that'd be weird. All right, it's just like there's something icky and gross about that. And then having a 40-year-old man just breathe heavily above you. But that's part of the scene, too. I mean, think about all the actresses that are 40 and have to deal with that, you know.
Exactly.
Having Antonio Banderas huff and puff, having Trump huff and puff above you. I mean, it's just, none of it's, you know, very enamoring. But, yeah.
You want to move on to the next topic?
We got more? Hooray. All right.
Yes, well, as you mentioned, there's been a rumor going around that Netflix will purchase, or Disney will purchase Netflix.
Now, is this just a fart in the wind, or is this still going? Did it already end, or?
I haven't heard much since it happened. Cool. The rumor circled last week.
So we're like a couple days late, but whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, Disney.
So what are your thoughts? You go first on this.
Yeah, well, again, Disney already works with Netflix.
Yep, that's
on
true.
some Marvel projects and other stuff. So. At the end of the day, I think it's a good thing, just because if Disney purchases Netflix...
Here comes our argument. Keep going.
Yeah. If Disney buys Netflix, they can afford to put more money in their content, and they can get better actors and better...
You fucking fanboys. It's all about the fucking Marvel shows.
It's not about Marvel.
Think in a moral... That's what you're saying. You want to invest more... I guess you're saying for like House of...
Everything.
Here's what I can't have House of Cards have the fucking Disney Castle logo come on before. I'm
not saying that.
And also Disney subs. I mean, Disney already has such a big fucking chunk of the pie. It's just getting bigger and bigger. Monopolies are bad. It's just in a moral business sense. This is like General Electric. Like this is like the end of unions. Netflix is one of the few competitors to just the movie industry as a whole. No, Netflix should not, in my opinion, just in a moral sense, for the sake of the industry, Disney should not. I understand from a Disney perspective, that is a smart move. I give that, but I'd say though it's a smart move for them getting bigger and more successful. but in a creative integrity way, it's self-defeating. When there isn't competition, creativity and innovation dies. Like I do buy that with all the, bum line, immoral competition, fuck that, I don't want the other shit. But yeah, Ralph.
Look at it this way. Disney is smart. They'll make the best decision that makes them more money.
No.
And
yes.
that Netflix...
I don't give a fuck about Disney smart, more money. They're going to make more Marvel things. Yes, great. They're going to be smart, but are you telling me, there's going to be less content on there no matter what. There's going to be zero. Granted, there's already going to be no Warner Brothers because HBO's a subsidiary. But there's going to, Universal things. Are Universal movies going to be on there? Really? Like, is Disney going to pay money through a sister company to buy their things? Great. So there is a possible utopia world where Netflix just stays exactly the same and Disney just sinks more money and Netflix gets to go wild, like Facebook with the fucking VR.
That's what I think is going to happen if it does. No. If they do purchase.
Well, then
Netflix.
You might be right. Like I won't be condescending and be like you live in the clouds. That could happen, and I'll be like, wow, Disney, you're Google. Don't be evil. Way to go. But just Disney has too much. Can you see that? Like they should. They already own like. If there was a pie, they have half of it, and then there's 3 other companies splitting. Like, granted, that's probably a little exaggerated, but
if it's the right choice, then I have no problem. If they run it correctly, then you won't even notice that anything's changed.
You'll notice.
That's the best case. That's the best case scenario.
Okay, but you don't talk about things for just best case scenario. Isn't it better just things are fine now? Why fuck with it? It won't be that much better by
because
Disney
owning always makes great decisions with their stuff.
Great decisions. Star Wars Episode 7. What are you talking about?
People, dude. Okay, most people like that. Okay, that's a fact.
Well, most people are fucking idiots. But fuck everybody who likes that. But fuck the entire audience basically. But fuck every Marvel movie that sucks ass. And kiss my. I don't want the monopoly. I'm sorry. That's just my main thing. It's like the rebel anti-system. Like I would prefer if Universal, not Warner Brothers for sure, but there needs to be competition needs to be fostered. Disney is encroaching on level grounds where they need to be trust busted. It's getting ridiculous. It's just plainly getting ridiculous. I disagree. Just out of hand, fundamentally, just no. I feel like it would send the industry going to hell in a handbasket. I guess I'm just the cynic and you're the optimist. It's I just don't see the amount of good that can come out of it is not very much, and the amount of negative that can come out of it is so much.
Okay, fair point.
I agree. Disney tends to make good decisions because they want to keep growing, but if they own Netflix, Star Wars, Marvel, no other franchises competing with them, what franchises are left? The fucking Walking Dead? Oh, great. You know what I feel about that? It's there needs to be places for competition in the industry. I do believe that. If you piss off Disney as a writer, then where do you go? There isn't much left. That's where I'm feeling. Where it's you can't own that much of the pie.
No, that's a fair point. Disney has a lot of the big franchises.
Exactly. I want to write a movie about Walt Disney and his brother, and it's a movie that Disney would probably pay me money not to write. And so I'll probably never get to work for Disney, and I'm fine with that. But it's that those are legitimate fears. It's that's the thing. It's like a government because it's anything becoming too big. Bottom line, creativity, individual freedom is stifled.
Oh, I get that. That's man. My fear. I get it.
Okay.
It's just cool. Disney hasn't let me down. They generally don't. So I get your side too. I
get your side as well. Then I get that. Disney hasn't done anything too insidious or fucked up. I agree.
Yeah.
They're just being a smart business. I agree. I don't blame any individual at Disney as evil. I just sort of blame the whole MO.
Right. I got you.
The monster of the corporate cog machine is what's and it's crazy because The Incredibles was a movie that I took that fucking phrase from, and that's made by Disney Pixar. I don't know. But even then, that was back when Pixar wasn't owned by them. So they own Pixar now too. I know. It's just Jesus. They own too much. Just leave a cake for some peasants. That's how I feel. And with prices go, they'd probably be smart. Or maybe they bring it up $2 but add way more content. I'd be down for that. I
That's
could
the
see
thing.
It being good.
Look, Disney has lots of money, so they can afford to have more original content on there. That's the best case scenario. They can afford.
But Netflix is still huge. Netflix is producing a crazy amount of shows. Are you telling me there's not enough content on Netflix? You couldn't watch everything on your watch list if you had the rest of your life.
But it's a good thing to have.
The quality-er, I guess you're saying?
It's a good thing to have too much to watch. It really is.
I agree, but there's already too much to watch. That's my thing where I'm saying there isn't that much of a gain to be had there. Like the yield, the risk reward. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, okay, I got you.
Did I persuade you at all, or we're still on opposite sides, but we just understand each other?
I understand you.
Okay,
I definitely,
fair enough.
I get you. I feel you.
All right, yeah. You feel me.
Any other points to bring up?
I recommend watching J. Cole's documentary called Eyes, EYEZ. It's 40 minutes. It was actually very interesting. You get to see behind the scenes of him making his latest album that drops in a couple days. He said there were some kind of bullshit moments, but it was very interesting to just see how somebody who's being very prolific just in the amount of content, but like somebody who has creative integrity really just kind of rear their soul a bit. And like he has one song on it that's basically getting a lot of hype because he seems to be talking to Kanye West. And it was a great song. It's called False Prophets. And I actually quite enjoyed that song. But
okay.
You saw conversations he had with people producing and mixing. I really enjoyed it. It's 40 minutes, easy watch. I watched that during that horrible SAC championship game and or just all sports. And so that there's some good music. I mean, maybe we'll get into music more. I don't know, but I'm enjoying. The Weeknd's album dropped, and that set some Spotify streaming bullshit. Something where he gets $0 record, but or like 50 cents, but 50 Cent got a quarter. But just lend some music on your guys' wavelengths. Childish Gambino's latest album, The Weeknd,
they're good.
J. Cole's dropping a new album. So all black. I'll try to think of a white band next week just to balance things out.
Is Gambino's album, is it good? The new one?
Yeah, I'm enjoying. Like he let the first two singles he released. I really enjoyed. Me and Your Mama and Redbone. They're way different than anything else. Like it truly is I don't know if he's devolving, where it's just he's being different. I'm very worried that he's maybe being different for the sake of different. But I'm willing to give him a shot because I've loved pretty much everything he's put his fingers on to this. I mean, Community. I haven't seen Atlanta, but just the hype and all his music. Like I really respect the guy, and I'm glad that he's finally getting respect. I don't know how his album's being received, but it has an aesthetic that because the internet, he wrote a screenplay where it literally says play this song while you read this scene. Like that, he's pushing the limits. Just what he's doing is healthy, even if the music isn't good. But I've only listened to 3 songs in the album, but I've dug the 3 songs.
Okay.
So
cool.
But yeah, and I dig what he's trying to be bigger than just the music, which sometimes I go where J. Cole's a good guy it's just the music. Kendrick Lamar, I like that, and music's with message. But yeah, so I'm enjoying it. Weeknd, I'm just more to understand vaginas. I've never been too big on him. I'm alright. I got nothing against him. I mean, he's made some great songs, but he's too popular. It's really what boils down to. Hipster ass Trent can't take it. But yeah, so I recommend those. I recommend the Spectacular Now soundtrack. And I'm trying to think what's something else I do. The ASAP Mob album was decent. Had a couple great songs. I'm a big I'm all over ASAP Rocky's dick. And yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna recommend because the rest of the songs are gonna end up in movies of mine, so I can't have the effect spoiled. Got to be surprising. But
quick thing before we go.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino is actually Donald Glover is actually in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Really, I forgot that. Right?
Yeah.
Is he gonna play Black Spider-Man or something? Do people know?
Apparently, he's playing a teacher. I don't know.
Huh.
It's really odd. Yeah.
He plays. It's weird. He's such a weird guy, but sometimes they don't play normal guy roles, like in The Martian, where he plays like
he was great in The Martian.
He was, and that pratfall that he did was by accident, and they kept it, which is funny. That was a great pratfall. And he was sleeping, and then he figured out the idea, and then he fell, and you can hear they had to swipe out a laugh from one of the crew members, and he kept because that wasn't in the script, but because he's good at comedy. Like he's not a great stand-up comedian. He really is. He's too I'm goofy and weird, but and funny sounds, but like and poop and that. But he actually he's funny and like I've always said that Chick-fil-A thing. How I think they put the little crack pill in it that dissolves on Saturday night, so you're fiending for it Sunday. So thanks for giving a silent nod, Ralph. He nodded for the record.
My bad. I'm getting tired.
It's a podcast.
Sorry, my bad.
But I know it is 1:30.
Yeah.
But we started this late because Ralph's a cunt. But what was weird is I saw a video that Gambino made, and he said something and it was just a weird thing where I had a sort of creative connect. I didn't feel jealous, or just like shit. He made that. I have to I'm still gonna say that rant just in circles, but I can't ever put that in a film because he did it first. But so it's interesting that we both had like a similar idea there. So I guess I kind of feel a kindredness with him there too. But and so I respect that comedy because his joke was my joke. So I'm like, all right, you're funny because you think that what I think's funny. But basically because you think I'm funny. You have a good sense of humor if you laugh at my jokes. That kind of cunty shit. But yeah. Any other thoughts? And he's playing Lando Calrissian, young Lando, and yeah, I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I think that's all we got.
Plug all your shit. I want to hype Ralph for this. Ralph is interviewing Hugh motherfucking Jackman. So everybody tune in for that. Tell them where they can see you for that.
Yeah, well, again, I got to plug the social media first.
All right, go for it.
I'm on social media. That's at Ralph Lenardic, and I write for Cinesportstalk.com. The link will be down below. Check out my stuff. It's a good website. And, yeah, as Trent said, that is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Congrats, Ralph is making it up in the world.
Man. That's
He's
awesome.
killing it. I'm jerking you off virtually. Just circle screen jerk.
And Trent, where can they find you?
Nowhere. Up your butt. Shove it up your butt. Up your butt and around the corner. Yeah.
You're Stanley.
Yeah, exactly. I'm doing Stanley. 2 times 2 pi squared. You cut that in half. You glue it to your forehead and you shove it up your butt. Yeah. Breathe in through the legs.
I love Stanley.
Classic. I love Stanley too.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Anything else? Do we want to have any last argument? I thought we got a good one. We did good argument. All right. See you guys. Fuck off. Don't be cunts trying to beat your wife so much this week. Don't beat your wife every night. That's the most I can give you. Moral guidance.
Peace out.
And don't use butter as lubricant.
Poof.
It'll come back to poof, motherfucker. All right.